Hi, all. Hey, how did we get to a place in our nation where wearing something a wee bit irritating over our faces in order to potentially save other people's lives became a battle about me and my rights? We are now a nation where my momentary comfort and convenience is more important than your health and your well-being. 75 years ago, my grandma proudly displayed a blue star in her window. That star represented a family that was thrown into upheaval by the war. It didn't matter whether my grandpa found the war effort convenient. He left his wife and children to contribute. He didn't whine about his rights. That family gave up a lot of convenience in order to contribute to that war. Now we think the world is coming to an end if we have to put a piece of cloth in front of our faces. What has happened to us? Is it Trump? No, he's just a reflection of who we are. I actually think the problem is the narrative that we've been telling ourselves about ourselves. We keep telling ourselves we're an exceptional nation. And I'm beginning to believe that is the main problem. This coming Sunday at 10:30, I'll be speaking about the problems of exceptionality-based narratives and the need for a new radical humility. I'd like to invite you to check out our faith community. Hope you can swing by for a visit, catch us on our live stream at First Congregational United Church of Christ at First Congo UCC. I'll be offering up an example of a pathway forward by looking at a generation that was born at the turn of the last century. That generation went through a massive pandemic in 1918, 2 world wars, a Great Depression in the 30s, and a lot of civil unrest during the 1960s. And I believe they model how we can get out of this crisis. That generation was exceptional, but they didn't know it. They were too busy doing their duty to worry about how special they were. Plus, there was a lot of social pressure not to toot your own horn in those days. Your feelings about what needed to be done was less significant than what needed to be done. My people were farmers. All the kids had chores. No one told them, "Oh, you're such a good milker." You just had to go milk and bring in the milk. The family didn't bend the whole life of the family around a baseball schedule. No, the kids instead were bent around the schedule of the farm. You were little, the farm was big, so deal with it. Today, everyone is exceptional. Every kid gets a trophy. Society is now tailored around children's whims and wishes. Now the farm is small, and you are big. It shouldn't be a surprise that we have leaders who are more concerned about their own welfare than the welfare of others. We've been grooming that kind of a person for the last 75 years. It has been said it takes the first generation to build it, the second generation to enjoy it, and the third generation to destroy it. And we have a third generation of type leadership in this country. And how do we get back to that first generation of builders again? We need to look at that previous generation who dealt with that pandemic, the depression, and social unrest. And finally, it might not hurt to look also at the example from the best of the Christian tradition. You want someone exceptional? For real? Well, let's look at Jesus for a second. In the Christian narrative, the creator God of the universe becomes a human. Now, if there was anyone who has been exceptional, it would be this guy, right? But what did this guy do? Did he boast about his exceptionality? No, he washed people's feet. He became a servant. He healed people who tried to harm him even. He forgave people who tried to kill him. This guy named Jesus completely flipped the narrative of what exceptionality is, and he offers us a pathway back. Being exceptional isn't knowing you're exceptional. It isn't about trying to prove it either. Exceptionality is being so busy washing the feet of society that you forget things like exceptionality. Exceptionality is about being concerned enough about others' well-being to make a few personal sacrifices. It's called radical humility. Hope you can join us.